Hello friends, and welcome to all of you on the channel, where we bring you unheard stories of crime. Here, you will discover cases that are mysterious, shocking, and force you to think. So let's go on this journey. 19-year-old Ajay Nishad and Shivani. A love that could overcome every difficulty. But then what happened that Ajay's innocent heart was filled with hatred? Deep hatred against women turned him into a psycho killer. One horrific incident after another made him the biggest fear of the city. What happened that day that brought Ajay's life to this turning point? Know in this shocking story where a horrifying tale is hidden, from love to hatred, and how a man turned into a beast. November 13th, 2024. That night, 24-year-old Kavita, a resident of Tola Katharina in Rasulpur village of Jhanga police station area in Gorakhpur, was sleeping deeply along with other members of the house. They were in their respective rooms. The night was deep and there was pitch darkness all around. The sound of barking dogs pierced the silence of the night. Suddenly, the loud scream from Kavita's room reached the ears of her father, Chote Lal Bharti. Despite being in a deep sleep, Chote Lal immediately woke up and ran towards Kavita's room. Seeing her husband suddenly rushing towards their daughter's room, his wife Suman followed him. She couldn't understand what had happened to make her so upset. Reaching the room quickly, within moments, he switched on the light. Kavita was lying on the bed, writhing in pain, her head bleeding. Chote Lal asked her about the situation. Through groans, she managed to tell him that a masked man in a black shirt had hit her hard on the head with a heavy object and fled through the front door. It didn't take long for Chote Lal to realize that this masked man was the same mysterious person who had been a mystery for the last 6 months. Chote Lal ran in the direction Kavita had indicated, but after a while he didn't see anyone, just people scattered around the area. When he returned home, he checked the time on his phone. It was 3:30 a.m. The family members were still worried, having heard Kavita's agonized screams. Chote Lal immediately raised an alarm and informed the neighbors. He woke them up, told them about the masked man in the village, and requested help in catching him. The terror of this masked man had spread, not only in their village, but also in neighboring areas. The situation had become so dire that, as soon as evening fell, women hid in their homes out of fear. No woman would go anywhere alone at night. The villagers were desperate to catch this niqab posh, as they called him. The police had been busy trying to catch him, but they were still empty-handed. The villagers decided to take matters into their own hands. They united and surrounded the village with sticks and rods, determined that whoever it was would not escape. The terror had robbed the villagers of their sleep for 6 months. They searched every nook and corner of the village, but there was no trace of the mysterious figure. He may have taken advantage of the darkness and vanished. However, Chote Lal, with his injured daughter, Dewan Dayaram, and other villagers, reached the Nga police station early the next morning. They were shocked to see a large number of villagers already gathered there. After leaving the office, Chote Lal spoke to the police. When asked why he had come so early, Chote Lal informed them about the murderous attack on his daughter by the masked man the previous night. This was the 5th such incident in the police station area, and not only had the attacker not been caught, but the police hadn't even been able to find his shadow. Head Constable Dayaram assured Chote Lal and the villagers that once the higher officials arrived, necessary action would be taken. He advised Chote Lal to take Kavita to the hospital for immediate treatment. Kavita, who was moaning in pain, needed urgent care. Following Dewan's advice, Chote Lal took his daughter to the nearby hospital. Her injury was deep, and her condition was serious, so the doctor admitted her and began treatment. Meanwhile, the then inspector, Suraj Singh, received information about the incident and immediately rushed to the hospital. After recording Kavita's statement, they returned to the police station. A case was registered against the unknown assailant based on Chote Lal's complaint. The matter had become serious. This 5th incident of mask wearing had shaken the police department. The sad thing was that till now, the police had failed to even find out who he was, why he was targeting only women, and where he disappeared into the darkness after carrying out deadly attacks. The answers to all these questions lay in the arrest of the masked man. we could meet only on the 14th of November. In the afternoon of 2024, SSP Gaurav had called an important meeting in his office regarding this incident. From the first incident to the fifth incident, during the discussion in that meeting, one thing came out common. In all the incidents, women were attacked. The attack was carried out in a similar manner, where the attacker tried to kill them by hitting their heads with a heavy object. In this incident, Mamta Devi, 32, became the second victim of the attacker on the 11th of August 2024. She had lost her life while battling for life and death in the hospital for 15 days. In the statements given by the women who were victims of the attacker, it was revealed that the attacker looked thin, wearing a black shirt, and his face was covered with some cloth. The police searched 20 villages to solve the mystery of the incidents that took place between the 30th of July, 2024, and the 13th of November 2024. After watching the footage from more than 100 CCTV cameras and searching the data of about 500,000 mobile phones, despite this, no clue was found. After not getting success, a search was started for a person who had gone to jail in the case of crimes against women and who had been in and around the incident sites. His location may have been known, but the police remained empty-handed here too. The police team went from village to village, collected information about suspicious people, and checked their police station records. On the basis of suspicion, many people were detained and interrogated. After much effort, the mysterious attacker was finally identified. In fact, in the footage collected from 4 incident sites, a person was seen running fast after the incident. If the footage was looked at in depth, the person with a single body was seen wearing a black shirt. He was barefoot, and his appearance exactly matched what the women had described. The mysterious man was identified as Ajay Nishad, son of Swaminath Nishad, resident of Mangalpur village. As soon as it was confirmed, CO Anurag Singh's team became alert. He was so alert with the team that, at any cost, the information about his identity should not reach the mysterious attacker. Otherwise, he could have fled from the spot, and they would have been searching for him for several days. His hard work was about to go in vain, so he took very cautious steps. He hurriedly made a plan. According to that plan, that very night, on the night of the 17th of November, around midnight, he accompanied the police team in plain clothes. At 12:30, Mangalpur village was surrounded from all sides. Not only this, as a precautionary measure, the SOG team was called to the spot. Both teams carried out this operation together, so the attacker could not escape from the village. The police had identified him. The attacker was moving towards Ajay's house. The police team had surrounded Ajay's house from all sides. SHO of Janga police station, Suraj Singh, knocked on the door and made a thumping sound. Hearing this, a middle-aged man opened the door. Seeing so many people together in front, he lost his sleep. Before he could understand anything, Inspector Suraj Singh introduced himself and said, "I am Inspector Suraj Singh of the Nga police station. The police force is standing at your door. What am I asking? Give the correct answer. Does Ajay live here?" "Yes, sir. Ajay lives here. But what is the matter, sir?" The person was surprised and asked the question. "I am Ajay's father, Swaminath. Did you leave so late at night? Everything is fine here, right? What has my son done?" "Yes, everything is fine. He has to be taken to the police station for a normal interrogation." "Isn't it a normal interrogation? He will be released after interrogation." Hearing the conversation outside, Swaminath's wife also got up and went to her husband. Seeing so many people at the door, her eyes were wide open. There was a heated argument going on between the inspectors. "Look at what I'm asking. Tell me directly, where is Ajay? Otherwise, I know other ways too," said Inspector Suraj Singh in a firm voice. "I will talk to the police right now." It was not even finished when Swaminath came pleading. "Sir, don't do anything to my son. I will bring him. He is sleeping in the house." "Okay, bring him. He will be released after interrogation," Inspector Singh assured him. Then, Swaminath went towards the room to call Ajay. Ajay's mother, standing in front, could not understand why the police had come to take her son. After some time, Swaminath came out, taking Ajay with him, and handed him over to the police. When his mother saw this, she created a ruckus, but became silent after seeing the strict attitude of the police. Inspector Suraj Singh took Ajay straight to the police station. Shortly thereafter, CO Anurag Singh and the SOG team also reached the police station. Ajay gave only one answer to all the questions of the police. He said that he had no knowledge about this incident, nor had he done anything like it. The police remained worried throughout the night. The next morning, all 4 women were found. They were called to the police station, and after hiding them, Ajay was identified. All 4 victims recognized him as the one who had attacked them. What happened next? When the police interrogated him strictly, he confessed to his crime. He told them that he had been talking to the women. He hated their screams, their agony, and the blood flowing from their bodies. He felt very relieved seeing them. The policemen were surprised to hear that he was no less than a psychopath because he loved others by giving them pain. He felt happy after seeing their suffering. When CO Singh asked the reason for this, he too was shocked by his answer. Then the statement he gave next turned out to be no less than a suspenseful film story. After the incident was revealed at 3 p.m. on the same day, at 6:30 p.m., SSP Gaurav Grover called a press conference in the police line and revealed the story of the serial killer who had been a headache for about 6 months. When the journalists questioned the accused about the said incident, there was no sign of remorse on Ajay's face. Well, the police named Ajay Kumar Nishad and registered a case under different sections of BNS. They presented him before the court, where he was sent to jail on a 14-day remand. After the court order, Ajay was kept under tight security at Bichia and was sent to Gorakhpur Divisional Jail. However, after the interrogation of Ajay by the police, a shocking story came out. In the south of Gorakhpur district, in Uttar Pradesh, there is a hamlet named Mangalpur in Rajdhani village under Na police station. In a Nishad-dominated village, farmer Swaminath Nishad lived with his wife, 6 sons, and 4 daughters. Ajay was the youngest among 10 children. His father had married all 4 daughters and 3 sons. Ajay was the most cunning and clever among the siblings. He was well aware of the financial condition of the house. How his father managed such a big family by working hard tormented him for years. He used to think that if he could get a lot of money from somewhere, he could improve the financial condition of his family and live a happy life. He knew that a lot of information was available on social media through which lakhs of rupees could be earned. With this thought in mind, Ajay started exploring social media at a very young age. After school, Ajay used to keep busy with his mobile phone. His family members used to explain to him that after studying, he should become capable of something and not waste his life with his mobile phone. But his parents' advice had no influence on him. He was engrossed in his own world. Ramesh Nishad was Ajay's neighbor. His youngest daughter was Shivani, a 15-year-old girl. Shivani was beautiful and studying in 8th class. At this age, she had become fully mature and her body had developed. Ajay was of ordinary appearance and had no special attraction, but from the day he laid eyes on the fair and beautiful Shivani, he had fallen in love with her. Being neighbors, Ajay and his family had to come and go inside Ramesh's house, and Ramesh's family also used to visit Swaminath's house. Shivani had entered Ajay's heart through his eyes. From the day she entered his heart, he was so intoxicated with Shivani's love that day and night, while sleeping and waking up, he saw only Shivani. Shivani knew that Ajay loved her and reciprocated his feelings. Gradually, she also fell in love with Ajay, but both were young lovers, and in such love, physical desire often surpasses emotional connection. Here, the situation was similar. Ajay was longing to have physical relations with Shivani, but he couldn't find an opportunity. One day, Shivani's family had gone out for some important work, and Shivani was alone at home. Ajay knew this. He reached her house in the afternoon. Shivani was alone in the room and busy with household chores. Suddenly, seeing Ajay in front of her, she was shocked. The desire with which he came to meet Shivani was not fulfilled. Even though Shivani was excited, she used her senses and refused his advances. Ajay repeatedly requested Shivani to have a physical relationship, but she rejected his request, saying, "After marriage." Ajay became angry due to Shivani's repeated rejections, and a dangerous conspiracy was born in his mind. He thought, to save my honor, when I put pressure on her, she will commit suicide and fall into my arms. Ajay had many pictures of Shivani on his mobile phone. He edited some of her photos and posted them on Facebook. Shivani found out about this, and when she saw her obscene photo on Facebook, she got furious. Shivani told her family about this. When they saw the photo, they were embarrassed beyond measure. Ajay had left no stone unturned in defaming Shivani. Shivani's family filed a rape case against him in the Na police station. The police registered a case under the POSO Act, arrested Ajay, and sent him to jail. Ajay was sent to juvenile jail. At that time, he was 17 years old, and this incident occurred in the year 2022. It shook him deeply. He was extremely upset by the fact that he had been falsely implicated in a crime he hadn't committed and had been punished for it. 6 months later, Ajay was released from jail on bail and returned home. After his release, Ajay's behavior had completely changed. As soon as he saw women, he would turn his face away in hatred. Now he was disgusted with women. After returning home, he began threatening Shivani's family to withdraw the false case. He threatened that if they didn't comply, he would kill everyone. Shivani and her family were deeply troubled by Ajay's daily threats. They didn't want Shivani's life to be ruined, so they told her about it. Her parents also complained to Swaminath, asking him to take care of his son and stop him from continuing his petty behavior. They warned him that otherwise, Ajay's life would be ruined, and they shouldn't blame anyone but his family. However, his family ignored this, and Ajay grew more rebellious. Ramesh was deeply upset and once again filed a case against Ajay Kashyap for threatening to kill. The police arrested him again, and this time he was sent to jail for 6 months. After serving time, his family bailed him out once again. After his release, they sent him to Surat. Ajay stayed in Surat for a year, working as a paint polisher, but his heart was filled with pain. The matter with Shivani still haunted him. The constant teasing from others drove him crazy. When he remembered the past, he began acting like a psycho. After a year and a half, when Ajay returned home from Surat, he remained quiet and reclusive. He spoke very little to the neighbors. He had a plan, a clever one, which no one else knew about. Ajay made a change in his life. He became a devotee of Shanidev. On Saturdays, he would wear black clothes and perform rituals to worship Shanidev. He would remain barefoot that day. Despite everything, he couldn't forget Shivani. He still loved her deeply. Whenever he saw her, something in him snapped. He would remain restless and worried the entire day. Eventually, Ajay decided to keep Shivani alive, but punish her in such a way that the pain would haunt her for the rest of her life. According to his plan, he targeted women who had no connection to the incident and decided to carry out his dangerous plan. On the 29th of July 2024, he committed his first crime. He targeted Maya Devi, a 50-year-old woman from Saharsa, Singhpur, in the Nga police station area. Maya's house was located at the end of the village. It was a summer night. Maya's husband, Baman Lal, was sleeping in the room, and Maya was sleeping deeply on the veranda. It was around 2 a.m. when Ajay, wearing a black shirt and covering his face with a black cloth, entered the house barefoot. He saw Maya and hit her with an iron rod in his hand. Maya, who had been sleeping soundly, started writhing in pain from the powerful blow. Blood poured from her head, and seeing her suffering, Ajay felt a chilling satisfaction. To make the incident look like a robbery, he ran off with an iron box and left it outside the village, hoping people would believe it was a thief's work. As expected, Baman Lal thought a thief had attacked his wife during a scuffle. The next morning, Baman Lal reported the theft to the Ninga police station. Ajay remained silent after committing the crime. No one suspected him. 12 days later, on the 11th August 2024, Ajay struck again. This time, he attacked Mamta in a similar fashion, running off with her belongings before disappearing into the night. The severity of the attack left Mamta hospitalized for days. Seva Prasad, Mamta's father, couldn't bear the shock of his daughter's near death and moved away with his family, leaving his home and returning to his job. After this attack, Ajay fled back to Surat. He returned home after 14 days and committed a third crime on the 25th of August, targeting 55-year-old Ramba Devi from Hathawal. He carried out the attack the same way and vanished into the darkness. These attacks created a wave of panic in the Nga area. There was a clear pattern emerging. The attacks took place at night. Women were being warned by their families not to go out after dark. Ajay reveled in the fear he had instilled and would laugh privately, enjoying the chaos. The police started investigating, trying to find out who was targeting women in the dead of night and disappearing without a trace. After 3 months of silence, Ajay committed his fourth attack on 9th November 2022. This time, he attacked Shanti Singh, a 32-year-old woman from Mangalpur, and her husband, Sonu Singh. Both were badly injured by a stick during the night, and once again the attacker vanished into the darkness. This attack caused immense worry among the police, with SSP Gaurav Grover now suspecting that the crimes weren't just for theft, but were being committed deliberately. The police were convinced that whoever was behind these attacks harbored a deep hatred for women. The very next day, on 13th of November 2022, Ajay committed the fifth attack. His victim, Kavita, a 24-year-old woman from Tola Katharina, was attacked and seriously injured. The police had no choice but to redouble their efforts, using scientific methods and informants to track down the attacker. 5 days later, the police arrested Ajay, a 19-year-old, through tireless efforts. They recovered the stick, iron rod, and other tools used in the attacks and sent him to Gorakhpur Divisional Jail.